Hi, my name is Emily Madill. I'm here with what I call my weekly happiness strategy video where I read aloud my weekly featured article. This week's article is called 3 Ways to Be More Mindful with Your Words. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Famous words by Walt Disney's Thumper in the movie Bambi. This wisdom passed down from our furry friend is something most of us have heard as children or at some point in our lives. Each of us has likely been on the receiving end of hurtful words, as well as taking on the role of dishing it out. I've never experienced a good outcome from uttering unkind words. True, the instant gratification is usually satisfying in a fiery kind of way, but most often these unkind words are the result of feeling hurt or misunderstood. The instant hit from lashing out is an attempt to feel better. As it turns out, the comfort is always short-lived. When our words are laced with cruel intentions, we end up feeling unsettled inside of ourselves. If this cycle isn't broken, we can damage our relationship with others and the one we have with ourselves. Each of us is accountable for how we choose to show up and communicate in the world. We can harness the fine art of conversation to create circles with others around us and put an end to mindlessly fueling separateness. Sometimes it's simply a matter of turning off autopilot in order to break the cycle of gossip and negative talk. It's about being more mindful and intentional with our words and interactions. In an effort to be more mindful with the words I give life to, I turn to these 3 practices. These reminders help me follow Thumper's lead. Number 1, a little kindness goes a long way. Kindness should never be mistaken for weakness. Choosing to communicate from a place of compassion and kindness doesn't mean we hide our truth or swallow how we are really feeling. We can be direct and open in our communications while also being kind. One simple way to do this is to remind yourself that the target or receiver of your words is a human being just like you. Before you speak, think about 1, 2, or 3 of their human qualities you admire and have genuine compassion for. This is a powerful practice that helps remove the trap we all can fall into of adopting an us against them mindset. Demonizing and dehumanizing others is a dangerous practice. When we are kind and clear, this kind of destructive thinking and conversing doesn't come into the picture. Number 2, mind the gap. Instead of speaking mindlessly, make room for the pause or gap in conversation. See what happens when you practice listening more. Enjoy the experience of witnessing others. If conversation takes on a negative tone and you'd rather not take part, this is also a great time to take a step back and mind the gap. There is no need to be additive. It's common to want to be seen and have our voice heard, but it's also refreshing to say less and listen more. When we practice the art of listening, it becomes much easier to be thoughtful, kind, and intentional with the words we do give life to. And finally, number 3, set a daily intention. Set a daily intention for how you'd like to express yourself. Choose a word or a phrase that embodies how you want to feel in your communications. This intention is really about nurturing the relationship you have with yourself. When we communicate with intention, we are aligned with our truth and humanity, and that feels good. When we spread words out into the world that are kind, intentional, and on point with who we are, the ripple effect is incredible. Words are powerful. How will you craft yours today? So that's our article this week, 3 ways to be more mindful with your words. It's one that I wrote a few years ago. It's up on my website, emilymadill.com, as well as on thriveglobal.com. I'm honored to be one of Thrive Global's editors at large, so I do share all of my writing up on Thrive Global as well as my website. I will include a link below this article or below this video to the article in case you want to have a read through. And I'll also include a link to my weekly note that I send out every Thursday morning to my list called M's Weekly Inspiration. So I'll include links to both of those, and I just want to invite you to try on this practice if it resonates with where you are. I know for me, it's one of the most valuable practices that I continually re-implement and remind myself of. It does seem to be one of those practices that immediately helps me get recentered and kind of to stop that negative thinking pattern and storytelling that we all can fall into, where we sort of start telling stories about somebody else, or kind of sort of looking for the worst in others, and then we form our interactions and our words based on that. So just taking that step back to really be more intentional and to be more mindful in the words that we give life to does tend to create different momentum in how we feel and also how we converse and interact with others. So I just want to invite you to give this practice a try, and I hope that you have an amazing week. And I just want to thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to connecting again soon. Thank you.